This is our somewhat crude way of keeping track of bearing sizes and whatnot. This is the real listing of all the different sizes and whatnot. When Dean Look had to scrape all of those bearings to fit, this is the guide that he was going from. I'm imagining that he spent quite a lovely couple of days working outside in the sunshine scraping these bearings out, because that's where the axles were up until about a month ago. The nice warm. And, today it's about 22 degrees outside and maybe a smidge warmer inside, so we'll be thinking about Dean and his cap scratching little bits off of these bearings while we're putting these together. Alright, now we're looking at the axle surface here. Closer. What you're seeing here is that the layer of protective grease that we've smeared on this over the course of, it's been a couple of years ago now, it's been doing its job keeping the bearing surface and the axle surface from getting contaminated or rusting. All of that stuff now has to come off. Okay, this is a cleaned axle surface. All the way around that, wherever the journal bearing is going to be sitting, we want to make sure that that's nice and clean. Over here, we have the cleaned journal bearing itself. Take a look in there, you see that all of the grease has been removed from there, and you can kind of make out that there's some striations, and those are leftover marks from the scraping process. The scraping process takes quite a substantial amount of time to get the bearing to fit exactly correctly up against the axle surface. We're shooting, when we do that, for over 50% of this bearing touching the axle. We go through a process using a tube of something called Prussian blue, which is a kind of a blue ink, and we smear that on the inside of the face, and we see how much touches the axle surface. So, like I said, very, very long and complicated, drawn out kind of a process, but that would enable, instead of having something that rolls kind of okay, it rolls much, much smoother. And also means that the break-in time on these bearings would be much reduced as well, with far less heat and damage to the bearing. So certainly it's a step worthwhile. Okay, the same thing done with journal surfaces number 2, and number 3, and this is number 4. Looking good. Looking good. Ready for the next phase.